Hi, I believe you rang. Was that a pocket dial?
Hi.
Hi.
So
Was that a
you
pocket dial
just
again, or
emailed me about and chastised me about
well,
email etiquette,
it wasn't quite
and so I
chastising, but okay, that's one way of putting it.
no, that's exactly well, okay, but I just want to tell you about the way your messages come across,
All
because
right.
you don't seem to be aware of it.
Okay.
They come across as insulting. So when I sent you the file earlier, it followed a fairly long conversation, and so I didn't think I need to
My
clarify.
perception on the conversation was more less substance, broad generalizations, and then when I read the comments into what you actually sent me, like the detailed comments, I saw virtually nothing in the way of analysis type
Maxie,
errors.
Maxie, Maxie, I'm not talking about details. I'm talking
I'm
about
aware.
how your messages are perceived,
All right.
and they come across as insulting.
It was not intentionally
If I,
insulting, but what
well,
I
Maxie,
meant was
then
to.
it's good that I'm having this conversation with you because it's important for you to know how they come across.
Okay.
And then after I have spent, then you criticize me for not knowing some word of the English language, which was also kind of unnecessary. And in fact, when I
Well,
pointed, I think you're pointing out, I was pointing to, I believe the word is
recency.
recency or whatever it is. And and there's an important reason why I pointed it out, which I explained in my email message.
Yes.
So your message to me that I use an online dictionary,
It's completely
was not,
consistent with the English usage of that word. It means to
Maxie,
convey its very recent
Maxie,
territory.
not questioning the correctness of a dictionary.
All right.
I'm explaining to you that if you respond to me, especially as a native speaker, it sounds insulting. And in addition, if I wasn't a native speaker, I would also find it insulting. And then in your most recent message to me, you're implying that I don't have much expertise in this question. And
To a certain
again,
extent, I was the one who brought it in. I'm not reflecting on the analysis
Maxie,
parts of this. I'm
Maxie, I'm
reflecting on the
not
number
asking you,
theoretic underpinnings.
Maxie, I'm not asking you to explain yourself. I'm
Hmm.
trying to explain to you how your messages are perceived.
All right.
So this is not a question about expertise or as such or anything like that. You should take it as an opportunity to understand from me or another person more generally how your messages are read.
All right. Is there anything besides that which I wrote in the email which you would like to comment on?
Well, you have. I'm bringing it up now because
Okay.
there is a consistent record of you writing these emails implying things which you don't seem to know that you're implying, and that present yourself in an unfavorable way.
Okay. By these emails, can you come up with another example case for me? Because I'm not recalling. I don't. I need examples. I need to understand this thoroughly. It's an important point. So,
When
what else have I done?
you responded, you send out a funding request to people like myself and Rachel Kuski, and
Actually, I
then in
CC'd
a
her
response,
accidentally on that because actually I had a no IT concern
Maxie,
with that.
again, I'm not asking for explanation.
Hmm.
This is not a time to justify yourself. I'm not going to have an argument with you about it. You asked for an example. I'm trying to give you an example.
Okay, what is the example?
And then in response, you criticized both me and Rachel for being short-sighted or something like that. And again, this presents you in a very poor light.
So you're talking about the response I sent to you but not copied Rachel on.
Right, and you criticized
Ah,
Rachel in particular
okay.
when you didn't have any idea what Rachel said.
Except for that which you conveyed to me, and she was not on the response, so I was just remarking in response to that.
Maxie,
Mm-hmm.
you had no idea what Rachel said.
Okay.
So again, and it's very, your style of messaging is
You're cutting out.
implies in different ways criticisms on the receiver, and you need to keep, and that's not a good thing for you to be doing.
So did you share with her the message that I sent?
No.
Then it's between us.
But for you to go ahead and criticize Rachel in a private message to me is not appropriate. For you to imply some sort of...
I would have to go back and review the text. I'll make a point to do that. I've got a to-do list of stuff to do.
And in the same way, your messages to me imply criticism of me, and that's not appropriate.
I see.
And you can go back and... I mean, you have the messages as well as I do, and it's not beneficial to you, and you should mark it down as something you need to attend to.
Are there any other instances that you can think of for edification purposes where I've done wrong in this way?
Well,
or is it just this week?
It's...
consistent trends over time, right?
So it was happening frequently enough that I presume that you're not completely aware that you're doing it. So if you're doing it to me,
so you mean this week?
Doing it to other people as well.
Yeah, I've been having some mood and anxiety issues this week, definitely.
Well, then,
but before that point.
Then, yes. But if that's the case, and it seems to be an ongoing issue, then it's something that you need to be aware of and think about.
Okay. Any other specific examples you'd like to cite for me? I'm going to go review this stuff, and I'm going to look at it very seriously and take your thoughts into consideration.
Yeah, so this is something that, you do need to pay attention to.
All right. Okay, so basically the email and the email I just sent.
I can go back and dig up more examples, but I'm not going to do that.
But nothing that comes to memory that's particularly grievous.
I bring it up now because it's a consistent pattern.
This week?
No.
I would agree. I've had some irritable conversations with people online this week as well that may have...
But Maxie, it's not this week issue. It's an ongoing issue.
So what's an example of an ongoing issue? Where's the last,
Look, the messages that I've just mentioned that were about Dr. Kuski were
not
this week.
That was this week. It's been within the past 7 days, actually.
But, Maxie, you have the messages that you've sent to me yourself, so you can review them yourself. I don't have to go back and do this for you.
So nothing that shoots out at you or comes to mind other than that. I will go look at them and try to pinpoint... I don't know, I almost want to write a script to do this.
I can't advise you how to fix this, but you do need to fix it. Because, I'm sure you're doing it to other people as well, and it does not convey a good impression of you.
All right. Is that sort of like a career type threatening whatever, or is it like a... I'm just not sure.
Everybody works for the man. You have to get along with your superiors.
Well, you work for the woman. I didn't say anything to her that was out of line.
Maxie, you're being argumentative.
I'm not being argumentative. I'm just commenting back at you. I don't appreciate the man.
Maxie, you are being argumentative.
Not quite the way you would expect, actually.
Maxie, if you object to anything I say, you're being argumentative. This is for you to listen to, not for you to argue with.
If I object to anything that you say, I'm being argumentative by default, is what you're saying.
everybody works for superiors and has to get along and I have annual review. My son and his job had quarterly review. Everybody has review. So this is the sort of thing that will be an issue for you, regardless of whether or not you're a postdoc.
So you're threatening me and vis-a-vis
in
August
industry.
or something.
Postdocs get annual review.
No, but you're talking about in this department because of my grievous sends this week over email to you about Rachel Kuski.
Likewise, you get reviewed every year as a graduate student.
Likewise, that's what I'm implying. That's the issue.
You'll get reviewed as an employee. So you need to be aware of how your communications are perceived by other people.
All right, in particular you. Because we're talking
In
about...
particular me, but
All right, let me flag the emails.
I doubt that I'm the singular case.
Okay. All right, is there anything else we need to communicate about with today?
Well, that's the reason
That's
why
the
I
crux
called.
of it. Okay. Well,
Okay.
all right. Much appreciated. Bye.